Okay, so today we are diving deep into the Mr. Beast playbook.
Uh-huh.
We've got excerpts from his team's actual internal guide,
Yeah.
the one they used to make those viral hits.
It is fascinating.
Yeah.
This isn't just like how to make videos. It's like Mr. Beast's philosophy on talent and data
Yep.
and what it takes to win on YouTube,
Yeah.
It's,
And he does not hold back. Like, one of the things he says, he wants a team as obsessed with YouTube as he is.
right.
He even suggests they ditch Netflix to study successful channels.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that sounds extreme, but at the same time, like, that level of focus, wouldn't that be valuable in any field?
It's certainly, yeah, a way to get ahead of the curve. Like Mr. Beast is all about pushing boundaries,
Sure.
And that starts with a deep understanding of the platform. So imagine if you immersed yourself in your field like that.
Yeah.
You're studying the best and you're analyzing what works. You're like living and breathing it.
Right. Talk about a crash course in success.
Yeah.
And speaking of understanding what works, Mr. Beast breaks down these key metrics that live by CTR, AVD, AVP.
Right.
I mean, I knew those were important, but the way he uses them is next level.
Absolutely.
So break those down for us.
Okay, so CTR is your click-through rate. So how many people see your thumbnail and the title and are actually intrigued enough to click on it.
Okay.
AVD is your average view duration, so how long people are actually sticking around.
Right.
Which kind of tells you how captivating your content is. And then AVP is average view percentage. So that shows you if people are watching all the way through, or are they like dropping off at certain points.
He's obsessed with that second-by-second drop-off data.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he talks about how his team analyzes it to see exactly where viewers lose interest. It's like they're, like, dissecting the anatomy of a viral video.
And that's how they refine their strategies, too.
Yeah.
They're not just guessing. They're using data to understand what's resonating with viewers, what's not. Like, for example, they found that the first minute of a video is absolutely crucial.
Make or break.
He even goes as far to say it's the most important minute of each video.
Yeah.
And they use what they call a crazy progression to showcase the most exciting stuff right off the bat.
Well, yeah, you gotta grab the attention immediately. If you don't, you've lost them.
Oh, 100%.
It's like that old saying in the newspaper business, like, you need a strong headline to get people to read the article.
Exactly, yeah.
But they take it even further. They talk about strategically placing what he calls re-engagement moments to pull viewers back in if they start to drift.
Exactly. It's about, like, anticipating viewer behavior.
Yep.
And using those insights to craft a more engaging experience.
Right.
They're playing chess, not checkers, with viewer psychology.
So they're like hyper aware of those micro moments that keep you hooked.
Right.
But what I find fascinating is how they balance that data-driven approach with this concept of wow factor.
Yes.
It's like they know the numbers can only tell you so much.
Absolutely. Mr. Beast understands that sometimes you need to create moments
Right.
that are purely about leaving a lasting impression. Something that viewers will remember and talk about long after the video's over.
That's where that example of lifting the house with the crane comes in, right?
Exactly.
From the 100 Days in a Circle video.
Yes. It's a perfect illustration of wow factor.
Yeah,
They literally lifted a house with a crane for one shot.
I know.
Because it looked cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the data. It was about creating a moment of pure spectacle. And it worked. People are still talking about that shot. It's become iconic.
It's like you can't quantify that kind of impact, but you know it when you see it.
Right.
And they weave it into so many of their videos.
They too.
It reminds me of that classic movie scene.
Yeah.
You know, the one where the shark bursts through the surface?
Oh, yeah.
Total surprise, but it makes the thing unforgettable.
It's about exceeding expectations. It's about telling the viewer that Mr. Beast is willing to go above and beyond, even if it seems illogical or expensive, to create an unforgettable experience.
And that stair-stepping concept plays into that too, right?
Yeah.
Building that anticipation with these incremental reveals. He talks about it with the world's largest firework video.
Yes.
Starting small and working their way up to that massive finale.
It's a brilliant technique for maintaining engagement. Each firework is bigger and brighter than the last. Viewers are on the edge of their seats wondering how they can possibly top it. And the beauty of that stair-step format is that it can be applied to so many things.
It's true. Like, think about those cooking competition shows.
Right.
Or even, like, you know, those home renovation ones.
Yes.
You're invested in seeing the transformation, the step-by-step process that leads to that final reveal. It makes you feel like you're part of the journey.
And speaking of journeys, Let's talk about how Mr. Beast handles brand deals,
Okay.
because this is where his data-driven approach really shines. He's adamant that brand deals are content, and he has the data to prove it.
He's not afraid to call out what doesn't work. Like, he includes these, like, brutal retention graphs
Yeah.
showing how viewers used to just bail during traditional ad breaks.
Totally.
But with their new approach, where they've woven the brand into the narrative,
Yeah.
the drop-off is barely noticeable. It's incredibly savvy. He understands that viewers are there for the entertainment, so the brand integration has to be entertaining too. And he gave that great example of, I think it was a CEO, who said that their Mr. Beast deal outperformed a Super Bowl ad.
Wow.
That's unheard of.
That's genius.
It is.
But it also makes you wonder, like, how do they keep coming up with these innovative ideas?
Right.
Well, Mr. Beast has an answer for that, too.
Yeah.
Consultants.
Consultants.
He even calls them cheat codes, which I love.
It's refreshing to hear someone at his level acknowledge that they don't have all the answers, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's a big believer in leveraging expertise.
Right.
And he encourages his team to do the same. He uses that great example of building the world's largest slice of cake.
His advice. Call the person who made the last record-breaking cake.
Huh.
Why waste time figuring it out from scratch when you can learn from the best?
Right.
It's about efficiency and maximizing your chances of success.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And it's something we can all apply to our own lives, wouldn't you say?
Oh, for sure.
Whether it's business or creative projects, or even just learning a new skill, seeking guidance from someone who's already been there can be a game changer.
Totally.
Yeah.
But even with the best consultants,
Right.
things can still go wrong.
Of course, yeah.
That's why Mr. Beast stresses the importance of clear communication within the team.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a huge advocate for face-to-face communication whenever possible.
Interesting.
He even ranks communication methods in the guide.
Does he
Yeah, face-to-face at the top, followed by phone calls, then texting, and finally, his least favorite email.
Which is interesting because we live in a world that's increasingly reliant on email and text.
I know.
But I think he's onto something. So much nuance is lost in written communication,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you're dealing with these creative projects where, like, one word can make all the difference.
Yeah. He gave that example of someone building a whole volcano set because of a miscommunication.
Oh, no.
Imagine the wasted time and resources. It highlights how crucial it is to have those open lines of communication.
Yeah.
To be able to just, like, walk over to someone's desk and clarify something in real time.
It makes you think about all the times where a simple misunderstanding has snowballed into a bigger issue. And this kind of ties into another one of Mr. Beast's big points, taking ownership.
Yes.
He's a firm believer in accountability and not making excuses.
He's very clear about that. He wants his team to take responsibility for their actions, even, or perhaps especially, when things go wrong. He even tells them, like, it's your fault, which might sound harsh at first.
Yeah.
But I think he's trying to cultivate a culture where people feel empowered to own their mistakes, learn from them, and move forward.
And he leads by example. Like, he talks about how every veteran on his team has probably cost him $1 million in mistakes at some point. But he's never fired anyone on the spot for messing up. That's huge. It shows a level of trust and understanding you don't always see, especially in such, like, a high-stakes environment. But he's also big on preventing those mistakes in the first place. Like, he talks about always having a backup plan and really, like, digging.
Right.
Not just accepting things at face value.
Yeah, that's where his emphasis on critical thinking comes in. He gives that hilarious example of someone needing 10,000 pillows for a video. And they find a supplier who magically has them while no one else does.
Okay.
Mr. Beast's advice: investigate.
Yeah.
Like, why are there so many unwanted pillows?
Right.
It's funny, but it highlights a crucial point about being thorough and questioning your assumptions.
He doesn't want yes men. He wants people who are going to poke holes in ideas and make sure they're rock solid.
Precisely. And that ties into his philosophy of constant improvement, always striving for the best possible outcome. One area where that really shines through is his approach to budget. He actually says creativity saves money.
So true. It's easy to throw money at a problem, but often, like, the most creative solutions are the most cost-effective ones.
Totally. He talks about a video where they were initially going to give away a $20,000 prize, but he suggested swapping it for a year's supply of Doritos instead.
Okay.
Way cheaper and, in his words, fucking hilarious.
Classic Mr. Beast. It's about finding those unexpected solutions that not only save money, but also enhance the entertainment value.
Yeah.
He seems to have a knack for it.
And that knack extends to recognizing that a great idea can come from anywhere. He emphasizes that everyone on the team should know how to hold a camera, regardless of their role.
Interesting.
It speaks to his collaborative approach.
It's like that saying, no job is too small. He wants everyone to be hands-on, contributing to the best possible outcome.
Absolutely. And this ties into his overall philosophy of constant learning and growth. He wants his take to be adaptable, versatile, and always willing to expand their skill set.
Right. And he's upfront about the fact that it's not going to be easy. He talks about all-nighters, working on multiple projects at once. Like, it's not your average 9 to 5.
He's very clear about that. He even says that if you only work on one video a day, you've failed as a Mr. Beast employee that day.
Oh.
Now, that might sound intense, but he's setting a high bar. And he's not afraid to hold himself to the same standard. It's that relentless drive that has propelled him to the top of the YouTube game.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about pushing people to their limits. He believes in rewarding hard work and dedication. He wants to create a company where people can grow, take on more responsibility, and share in the success.
It's about building something bigger than yourself, something you can be proud to be a part of.
Exactly. And that brings us to one of the most important aspects of the Mr. Beast brand, authenticity. He stresses that you can't fake it.
Right.
The reactions, the challenges, the emotions, they all have to be genuine.
And he's willing to scrap an entire bit or like change direction if it doesn't feel authentic.
Totally.
He even talks about how he refuses to lie in his videos, even if it means making things more difficult for himself.
It's about maintaining that trust with the audience.
Yeah.
They know when something feels forced or inauthentic, and Mr. Beast understands that.
He's not just creating a character, he's being himself.
Yeah.
And that's what resonates with people.
It's a powerful reminder that in a world of, like, carefully curated online personas, authenticity still matters. It's about being genuine, relatable, and true to yourself, even when the cameras are rolling.
And part of that authenticity comes from understanding your strengths, but also your weaknesses. Like, he admits that he doesn't always have the right answers, and he encourages his team to challenge him, to come to him with well-researched ideas and different perspectives.
He wants to be surrounded by people who will push him to be better, who aren't afraid to speak their minds and bring new ideas to the table.
It's about fostering a culture of collaboration and constant improvement.
Precisely. He ends the guide by saying, this isn't a stepping stone. This is your final destination. He wants people who are passionate about what they do, who are in it for the long haul, and who are committed to building something truly extraordinary.
So what does this all mean for you? What if you could take these insights, this data-driven, creativity-first approach, and apply it to your own life, your own projects?
Even if you're not making viral videos, the principles are universal.
Right.
Clear communication, ruthless prioritization, constant learning, and a relentless pursuit of excellence.
Mr. Beast has built a remarkable career by challenging conventions and redefining what's possible.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to ponder.
Yeah.
If you were on his team, knowing what you know now, what kind of video would you pitch? What, like, wild, out-of-the-box idea would make Mr. Beast say those magic words, let's do this?
Until next time, keep diving.